Hello everyone, this is Pam with Pam $7.47 and I'm coming at you today on Saturday, October the 14th to share with you my haul that I did at Rite today. If you recall from my last video, I mentioned that Saturday was a friends and family day where you get a 30% off shopping pass. And so I went to the store this morning and picked up some items. Now, one thing that I had planned on doing yesterday but I didn't do was the Venus and Gillette razor deal. When I got to the store, I kind of worked it out, and it would have ended up being for me like $1.07 per razor, and I just wasn't feeling that. So I didn't do that deal, but I ended up doing the Jergens and Curiel lotion deal, as you can see, and then the Cushy foot covers. And I want to thank Michelle from Michelle's Frugal Living for this deal. So I'm going to go through and explain to you how these deals worked. I do have them grouped as I did the transaction. I did do 3 separate transactions. I did have multiple 30% off cards. Now, the cashiers were handing these out the other day. So if you didn't get one of these, then sometimes they will print on the end of your receipt. Some people got them in an email. And then I got one from a Catalina. Now, I went to use that one from the Catalina, and she couldn't get it to scan. So she went to get her calculator, and she was just going to figure out manually with the calculator how much 30% off of my order would have been. But I had extra ones of these, so I just gave her one of those, and these scan fine. But just keep in mind that if you got one from the Catalina, it might not scan, or at least mine didn't. So I'm going to start over here on the end with my first transaction. Okay, so this is how this deal worked. The Curiel was $11.99, and this is the Hydrotherapy Wet Skin Moisturizer. It's the 12-ounce size, and then the Jergens is the 10-ounce size. So the Curiel was regular $11.99, but with the 30% off, it rang up $8.39. With the Jergens, it was $4.29, and with the 30% off, it rang up $3. And then the Cushy Foot as well, $4.29, and then it rings up $3 with the 30% off. Now, the deal with the Curiel and the Jergens was if you buy 2, you get 400 points back. A limit of 4 times you can do this deal. The Cushy Foots, you buy 2, you get 300 points back. So for this transaction right here, if you do this, you will end up getting 1,100 points back in the end. Now, depending on what your store has, I noticed in the 2 stores that I went to, they didn't have that many Jergens lotions, so you might not be able to pair them up like I did. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to get 2 Curiels and 2 Jergens. You can get one of each. So depending on what your store has, you know, get what you can get. But it doesn't have to be 2 of the same items in a transaction. You can get one of each. So these total $28.78. Now, I used 2 of the $1.50 off of 1 coupons that was in the 10-1 Smart Source, and I used 2 of the $4 off of 1 coupons for the Curiel that was in that same insert. Now, my first one for the Curiel went through, but the second one beeped, and then subsequently on all of my other transactions, the Curiel one beeped, but the cashier just called the manager, and she came up and just checked the product, matched the coupon, and so she went ahead and manually put it in. Then on my Curiel, I had $2 off of 1 Peely. So there was a $2 off of 1 Peely on each one. So that worked out even better, because when I initially did this deal, I wasn't expecting that. But when I went to the store, I saw a lot of them had the $2 off of 1 instant Peely. So I used 2 of those. So that was an additional $4 off. So I had a total of $15 in coupons, brought it down to $13.78. I rolled that Catalina that I got from the Huggies diapers into this transaction. So I paid $3.78 out of pocket, but I got $11 back in points. So this was a cost of $2.78 for all 6, or 46 cents each, which is a wonderful deal. 46 cents down from $11.99, $4.29, and $4.29. That's a wonderful price. Then in my second transaction, I did the exact same thing, and I thought I had my little binder things out. I was going to show you the receipt. I don't think I have all of them out here. I think I just have this one. but I can show you my receipt on how this deal worked. So this is one of my receipts. So you can see she had to manually put in those $4 coupons. So $378 excluding the tax. And then I got 1,100 points back. And so you can see I got 400 twice for the Curiel and the Jergens, and then 300 for the Cushy Foot. So exact same deal with this one. And then my last transaction, I got 4 of the Curiel and 2 Jergens, because again, they didn't have that many Jergens here. And then with the Curiel, they only had peelies, the $2 off of 1 peelies on 3 of them, and 1 of them didn't have a peelie, so I couldn't get an additional $2 for that one. And then I got 2 more of the Cushy Foots. So the way this transaction worked were 4 of the Curiel was $33.56, and this is with the 30%. The Jergens 2 were $6, and then the Cushy Foot 2 were $6. So it's a total of $45.56. Now I had $25 in coupons in this transaction. 4 of the $4 off of 1 coupons for the Curiel, 2 of the $1.50 off of 1 for the Jergens, and then 3 of the $2 off of 1 peelies for the Curiel. So that's $25 came off, brought it down to $20.56. I rolled that other $10 Catalina that I had from the Huggies diapers. So I paid $10.56 out of pocket, got $15 back in points. So this was like a cost of $5.56 for all 8 items, or 69 cents each. Now, some people might say this looks like it was a moneymaker, but it depends on how you work out your deals. Most times, even if I'm rolling like an ECB or points or whatever, in this case a Catalina, it's still considered like money. It's still applying like money. Even though it's a Catalina, it's still applying to your order and paying for it like money. So I include that in there. So it was like I paid $20.56, even though all of it didn't come from like cash. I paid $20.56 and got 1,500 points back. So it's like a cost of $5.56 for 8, or 69 cents each. Now, if you don't want to include that $10 Catalina, I think it ended up being like, was it $4 and something cents moneymaker? I think it was like $4.44 moneymaker. And then the same thing on this first transaction. If you don't consider the $10 Catalina as being factored into this, this would be like a $7.22 moneymaker. But I include that in. Even though it's not money that I paid out of pocket, it's still money that, you know, I was spending towards the transaction. So that's fine. And then in my last thing that I did was the Yoo-Hoo, these little drink box things. It's the chocolate drinks. This was a monthly deal. If you buy 3, you get 200 points back. So if you watch my other videos, I did get 6 each on 2 of my other cards. So this was the last card that I hadn't had. I didn't do a transaction on with this because the 2 stores that I went to, they were totally out. And then I went to a store that I usually don't go to too often, and they had these on the shelves. They had, I think they had 5 of them. So you have to do at least 3 4 times. So I could only do it once. I couldn't get the 5, if that makes sense. So I only got 3. So the deal is if you buy 3, you get 200 points back, a limit of 4. They are $1 regular price. With the 30% off, took it down to 70 cents. So for 3 was $2.10. That's what I paid out of pocket, but got $2 back in points. So it's like a cost of 10 cents for the 3 packs, or 3 cents a pack, which is really, really good price for that. 3 cents for each of these. Wonderful deal. Okay guys, so this was my Rite Aid Saturday haul for the 30% off Friends and Family shopping pass. So this is it for Rite Aid for me for this week. I'm in the process of getting some deals together for CVS for tomorrow. So come back tomorrow and look for another video for another haul. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.